Okay, good evening, Manhattan, New York City, the world, the universe, and beyond. I hope you can hear me all right. I hope the lighting's okay. My name's Kirk. I'm a spiritual healer. I've been studying metaphysics, the esoteric system of the tarot, and I have over 500 free videos, 500 free hours of TV programs and videos that I made on YouTube discussing spirituality in every aspect that I can think of. All spiritual topics, all the time. And by default, I have become a type of teacher and spiritual healer. And I'm making this video because I am getting panic calls from a lot of people and panic emails, and I want to tell you about that there's a spiritual crisis right now, and it's all over the world, and it really has been coming for years, but I've discussed in other videos that you know, psychics and mystics and astrologers from 1,000 years ago actually predicted this time right now. We are entering the dawning of the age of Aquarius, and it's been going on for the last 10 years. But right now, the reason I'm making this video is because things are coming to a head, like intensely coming to a head. Anything that you haven't dealt with in your life, no matter what age you are, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, that's dark and upsetting and conflicting and debilitating, any kind of darkness that's inside of you is actually leaving your mind, body, spirit, aura, and massive shifts are occurring in our minds, bodies, spirits, and energies. Right now, it's, if you read the sidebar, whoops, point to the right here, sidebar, I think it's right there. It's a deep spiritual crisis that's happening, and people are breaking down. People are picking up drugs, alcohol, rehab, psych wards, panic. Old energies are coming up to be released, and if you're not versed, whether you believe in psychic and spiritual things or psychic abilities, or whether you believe in any of all that or not, it's still happening. But you can read the sidebar here. There we go. It's a very heavy confluence and compounding of astrological and psychic events. We had the full moon lunar eclipse. That's a gate open up astrologically called the Lion's Gate, and we're sliding into this full solar eclipse on August 21st. So here's a couple of things you can do. First of all, I, as a healer, my website is kirkspiritual.com, and I think I put that in here somewhere. If I didn't, I'll put it in www.kirkspiritual.com. You can go ahead and book a session with me because everybody's ass is on fire right now. People that are not spiritually fit and don't have spiritual hygiene, which I talk about this all the time, you're going to be all over the place. What you really need to do is recalibrate that you're timeline jumping. I know it sounds out of this world and ridiculous, but I'm not the only one that's saying it. I did a channeling about a week ago live on Facebook, and I said, we're moving into a fifth dimensional, sixth and seventh dimensional reality, the entire planet and the entire soul, collective consciousness of this planet. And it's not going to be graceful. You're going to see some humongous upheavals. Humongous upheavals. And I already said this in other videos. personally, professionally, politically, socially, and we're already seeing evidence of that in the news. So what can you do? What can I do, Kirk? First of all, I do want to mention two people that are giving these essential oils classes, because essential oils can really and truly help you at this time. None of my oils are really, they're not in reach. They're all up here on the altar. But you can hit up Melissa Spencer and Sarah Petruno, who are giving a class this entire week on essential oils and how to change your life and stabilize. I also, if you're in New York City, I have a great acupuncturist, Dr. Bob, and private message me and I can refer you. So, you should recalibrate. First and foremost is one of the most important things. You're going to have to recalibrate to a new normal. Prepare and expect to be all over the place. It's going to go without saying, over the next 6 weeks, you are going to be feeling things. You are going to be thinking old memories and have old feelings. What you really want to do is you want to observe and then release. Okay, so what I did this week was I specifically created a 35-minute spiritual crisis healing art session. It's 35 minutes phone to phone. I'll get you grounded. I will help you move your energy and make the core main shift. Restore the core, release, replenish, and replace. And I will do that with you on the phone and get you some exercises. And it's 35 minutes for $75. My hourly rate is $225 if you want a full healing arts session to kind of help your energy release. And it really is real. I mean, my own personal barometer is I watch the news and I see where there's explosions, and I'm not going to reference anything that's happening specifically, but you can turn on CNN. Things are exploding. Old energies are coming up to be made peace with, and it's going to get rocky. It's basically like a long, dark night of the soul for the next 6 weeks, but specifically the intensity is going to really lead up till the 21st, the eclipse. And, historically, once again, during an eclipse, historically, it's in our DNA as humans through the arc of time that during an eclipse, people lose their minds. It's always happened. And now with the intensity and the intensive of, we have instant news, we have instant communication, instant phone, we can see what's happening all over the world at any time. Then you've got your own massive collective self, massive connection to the collective consciousness. And, you can just, the world's falling apart, a couple of things. Certain religious groups are like, this is Armageddon, it's the end of the world. Everybody's going to jump on top of this. But to me personally, right now, in my own personal spirituality and spiritual center, I try to maintain a core of sanity at all times, no matter what, and I check my actions. It's still like a dark night of the soul. It's basically a dark night of the soul. So, what does that mean? That means some of the worst pain that's in your subconscious and your psyche is going to start coming out to be released. So you've got these two. I'm going to smudge your aura now while you're watching this. My energy can go through time, space, matter, doesn't matter. So anybody in pain, fear, doubt, disease, scarcity, Shakti, I'm knocking it out of you. I'm allowing you to have a gentle shift in your energy, and, you know, the third eye specifically on a lot of people needs to be unblocked, unstuck, and clean and cleared. Candles, incense, music. Just remember the center and recalibrate that you're going to be thinking thoughts and feelings from like past. Even past lives are leaving right now. And here's the thing, you can't attach pain to it. It's pain coming up, but the pain is coming up to be released. The old memories are coming up to be released. So you've got this third density type of reality that was never working. It's not sustainable, and it's not valid. It's not a sustainable, valid reality because it's based on the fact that nobody acknowledges that we're energetic beings. And so what's happening at the time right now, we are energetic beings and we're spiritual beings. And so this illusion and this lie that we've all been living under, a false reality, we can't really keep a lid on it anymore. We can't keep a lid on this fake reality that everybody knows is fake. We're all psychic, we're all spiritual, we're all powerful, we're all creators, and we all came here to experience something as a soul with a body. And, you know, at the time when I grew up, there was like nobody psychic, nobody spiritual, you know, a couple hippies, you know, over there, out there in some other place. And, you know, you're just basically a material being in search of a soul, maybe. And now we know none of that is true and none of that is really valid. None of it. We're all connected all over the world, and we are one soul with many different bodies. And so you've got this discrepancy, right? And so the truth, the illusion is falling away. It's just falling away all over the place. And like a house of cards, when the illusion starts to fall away, it's falling away now very quickly. So we're leaving this third and fourth reality that was a false reality, an illusion, you know, that we're like spiritually groping around and God is somewhere out there. And we know all of this isn't true. So we're actually ascending up to a fifth dimensional actual reality of the truth of our being, the truth of our bodies, the truth of our minds. Everybody is psychic. I don't care who you are or how much you want to acknowledge it. Everybody is psychic. There's a continuum and an arc. Somebody like me, full tilt psychic. I've been psychic my whole life. And I acknowledge it, and I work with others to help increase their intuition. You know, but even just a person, I'm not, you know, it doesn't, you're still psychic. You're still having psychic experiences. So the point of fact is, all of this old illusion that we're not connected and we're disconnected and we can't get anything and that there's scarcity and everything's falling apart and everything, you know, it's the end of the world again. Like, none of that is valid for any of us anymore. And so we're moving into this five-dimensional reality, but there has to be some massive core shifts. If you want to think about it like an update on your computer, I'm a Mac guy, and, you know, on the little sidebar here, it says update. When you push a button, you're connected to the internet, and it just updates the entire hard drive to the new system. Right there in like 20 minutes, you know, you get an entirely new hard drive, you get an entirely new system. That's basically the way that I can explain it the most. You're waking up at 2:33 in the morning, spirits are working on you, angels are working on you. For the person that hasn't really lived in the spiritual, psychic, mystical world, it's terrifying. And, you know, there's all these weird movements, and so people are translating it into, you know, I feel suicidal, and I feel violent, and I feel rageful, and the polarity of energies, you know. But once we get over to the fifth dimension, these paradigms are all going to fall away. The paradigms of love and hate, good and bad, good and evil, none of that is really going to be valid anymore. You're really stepping into a full acknowledgement of yourself as a spiritual being. And like I said, up to the solar eclipse, it's going to come to a head. Like, remember when you were a kid and you had pimples and they like got a white head? I know it's disgusting, but really in a lot of people's psyches and souls, the pus and the pain that was programmed into you, it's going to pop. And, you know, it's not a graceful thing. You might want to Google Dark Night of the Soul, because basically a lot of people are going to be in the dark night of the soul for the next 6 weeks. And, you know, don't panic. Recalibrate and release. Recalibrate and release. And then recalibrate again. You just have to recalibrate to the fact that emotionally, mentally, psychically, and spiritually, and politically on the world social scene, shit's just going to get out of hand. But you can't draw any conclusion, because, you know, a lot of darkness is leaving this reality and a lot of darkness is leaving the planet. So that's what I can offer you. I don't know where I thought I put some links in here. I don't know where they went. I put some links to my website, to my YouTube page. Let me try and put the YouTube page in again. www.youtube. I have over 500 hours of spiritual videos. Watch them. A lot of people say my voice is very soothing and it will help put you to sleep